Hey, James, how are you doing?
I am doing fine. How are you today?
I am doing very well. We're here because we have an opportunity to share a little bit of information about a really exciting opportunity that we've put together for this fall. Um, I was thinking maybe we just want to start briefly for folks who don't know us with a short intro, and then we can talk a little bit about what we've been up to and what we're excited to share with school leaders this coming August.
Yeah, sounds good. My name is James Bailey. I live in Colorado. I am a 30 plus year school leader, elementary, high school superintendent. Now I teach at university and do a lot of consulting and coaching with school leaders around the U.S.
Yeah, and my name is Randy Weiner, and James and I met, years ago at this point, when we collaborated on writing Corwin Press's The Daily SEL Leader, a guided journal, which is what's really started all of this work that we're going to be talking about today. I was a Teach for America teacher here in Oakland, California for 3 years. I taught for 2 years at the American School of Antananarivo in Madagascar, and have been involved in education technology and education entrepreneurship throughout my career, including founding Brainquake, a middle school math company that has been recognized 3 times by the United States Department of Education for our innovations, as well as serving as the first board chair and co-founder at Urban Montessori Charter School here in Oakland, which continues to be in its 12th year, Oakland's only public Montessori option. With that in mind, as I mentioned, James and I co-authored a book, and that book was focused on supporting leaders like yourselves with developing their own SEL skills, something that James and I sadly continue to observe as largely missing in the leadership space. See a lot of SEL curriculum and professional development to help adults teach children these skills, but very, very little that was designed explicitly for school leaders. James, why was that so important to us?
Well, having been a superintendent and trying to support leaders, I just saw the the look on their face. I always called it the look. They'd come into my office and just look distraught for a lot of different reasons. And a lot of that is because it's an isolating job, it's a lonely job, and leaders, in a sense, tend not to put their own mask on first. They tend to be concerned about others, their students, their teachers, their principals, if you are a superintendent. And what that unfortunately leads to, there's some really interesting research about the difference between leaders burnout, their stress levels, the family problems that causes without attending to their own social emotional needs first.
Yeah, and as we've been in leadership positions ourselves, as we've talked to leaders as part of researching the book, as we've supported leaders across the country in our consulting practice, over and over again, we hear really understandable, really well-intentioned rationales for leaders not putting that mask on first, as you said, right? It feels like all resources, all sacrifices should be made for staff and students. Very noble, and again, very understandable, maybe not terribly sustainable in a world that is increasingly complex, like the world that leaders face today at schools.
Yeah, yeah, and unfortunately, that's proven itself out. If you look across the U.S. right now, the attrition rate of principals is close to 20%. That means 1 in 5 principals is moving from their position because of the unsustainability of the demands placed on them at the local site. Again, whether that's a district, a school, a charter management organization, whatever it is. But think about that: 1 in 5 principals is turning over, and the same could be said for superintendents, which is probably a lot higher. And if you look at the teacher attrition rate, it is almost caught up. Before the pandemic, it was about 16%, 8% who leave the profession entirely, and 8% who move. In most states now, that is around 18 or 19%. So again, close to 20% of our educator workforce is just up and moving, which again costs a lot of time and effort to replace those people. And again, there are not a lot of people who are, lining up the door to take these jobs. It is becoming a crisis across America.
Absolutely. And that takes us to what we've designed for school leaders. In partnership with J.K. Thomas and The Source, James and I have created a series of 8 one-hour webinars that's really focused on the retention issues that James was just speaking to. And so in this 8 webinar series, we're moving from a general overview and introduction to leadership SEL, then into a deep dive on each of the 5 competencies that Castle uses to organize its SEL framework. And then we move into introducing the job demands and resource model, a theory that we think really helps to tie together these concepts, and then conclude the series with an hour on how to extend the learnings that we've shared in the first 7 webinars to the rest of your staff and community.
So that's the end of our quick video. We hope to see you come this fall. We have lots of good information here to share with you, and can extend this in a lot of different reasons. But we see this as a growing crisis, and we want to help the problem. So for that, we hope to see you this fall.
Great. Thanks, everyone, and thank you for all that you do for students and staff every day.